I cannot believe this. Making a brand new house for all of us to live in without talking to me? If you go through with finishing that place, we are most definitely not going to move in with you.
Huh?
You really are an airheaded mother-in-law. No matter how many times your daughter-in-law tells you she won't live with you guys, you still manage to go ahead and make a house for everyone. If having that house ready for all of us to move in is your battle plan, then it's not going to make me be defeated.
Maddie, I'm a little concerned by what you might be confused by. This larger house wasn't built with you guys in mind, you know.
Huh?
We've decided to live together with my second oldest son and his wife. And so that's why he had our house remade into a much larger and spacious home. It wasn't that our previous house couldn't be lived in by all of us, but we all decided that we want a house large enough for us to all have a bit of privacy. And so we did our best to build a brand new and amazing house.
What? So you plan to just overlook your oldest son and his wife and live together with your second oldest instead?
Overlook you guys? I'm pretty sure that you did say that you never wanted to live together with us, right? So I don't understand why you are complaining even more over this choice.
I understand that, but...
And to be honest, I don't really want to have you living together with us either. And now that you guys don't have to live here, you both can relax a little knowing you won't have to care for us.
Excuse me?
I'm sorry, but you never seemed to really like me. And during the holidays, you and my son never came home to celebrate with us. Yet you both had the courage to ask us to give your kid $1,000 in money for Christmas. I really am sorry, but I cannot see myself ever wanting to live with either of you.
Well, I'm sorry for you, Beth, that you think your oldest son and his wife have to come back to your place for the holidays every year, because we sure don't have to. But you must understand that we have a daughter now who is your grandchild. And as the grandparents, it's your guys' job to spoil her and make her as happy as she can be.
And that's the whole reason we come over there frequently to play with her. We never get to see you guys when the rest of the family is here, so we make up for that by coming your guys' way. But you only ever give us about 10 minutes within your house before you both kick us out. So how are we supposed to make her happy if you never let us near her for long enough? Your father-in-law and I are at our limits with the way you two have acted and treated us.
Huh? Why are you starting to get all mouthy towards me? This is one of the reasons why I hate you as my mother-in-law. Ugh, I feel so bad for your second oldest wife, Margaret. The fact that she has to start living with a woman that will bully her every day.
Say whatever pleases you, Maddie. But just be aware that us building this new house is not for you two, so you can both calm down now. Now, goodbye.
Beth, if I begin to live with you, does that mean you are going to start picking on me and making me feel bad? Are you really planning on doing to me what you've done to Maddie?
Huh? I would never do something like that to you, Margaret. And what do you mean I've been picking on Maddie?
Well, she just spoke to me a little bit ago. And that's when she sent me a huge 5 gigabyte file over the phone. And she told me in that file I'd find all I need to believe that you have been bullying her. She then told me to read and look at it all and then rethink coming to live with you guys.
A 5 gigabyte file, huh? She really ended up using that much of her data for no reason then?
I took a quick look at all of it, but I don't really think what all she's saying is true. But yet again, there are things in there that do concern me a bit, so I have to ask. Do you plan on picking on me the way you do with her?
I'm telling you that I have no reason to do that to you. Why would I ever want to pick on you or do anything mean when we finally come this close to living together?
That's what I thought. And when I think of you, all I can think of are really good things. And is it true that Maddie really is that strange of a woman, then? I just wonder because it seems she really has it out for you. Did something happen in the past to make her that upset?
When it comes to that, it's really nothing. I think that she just has a fight to pick with me for just being her mother-in-law.
Huh? So for no reason, she just hates you?
Well, you've heard on the news and such before that things like this happen all the time between mothers and their daughters-in-law. And I think in her mind she believes that I'll be the same way to her, hence why she's so aggressive towards me. She thinks that all mother-in-laws are out to get her. But I suppose she is the wife to my oldest son. He probably allows all this to happen without ever stopping her from thinking such things.
Wow. And so you think that's the only reason she's that upset with you all the time?
Well, when I asked my son about it, he told me that a lot of her friends have had bad experiences with their mother-in-laws. And so I'm pretty sure that because of their experiences, she expects the same thing from me. I really do want to become close family with her, but no matter what I try and do, she never wants to see me as a friend. At first, she was nice to me and me to her, but then soon after, she began accusing me of bullying her.
Wow. That's all a total waste of being a happy family. I think that you're one of the kindest mother-in-laws a woman could ask for. I guess she really just wants to cause problems, though, huh?
Saying that I'm nice. After having to talk to Maddie, that makes me feel so happy inside. But you don't have to be so kind to me.
But I'm not trying to just make you happy. I was even a bit worried about what it'd be like having in-laws, but because of how kind you've been to me, I don't feel any anxiety when I'm around you at all.
Well, I'll do my best to continue making you feel comfortable in our family. I'm sure that when we start living together, there will be a little stress between us and all.
Well, that's what happens, right? But I ask that you don't worry about us too much while we're there and that you just relax. We'll all work really hard together to make living with one another as fun as possible.
That house looks even more beautiful than I was imagining. All of the yard and everything is looking perfect as well. Could that all be because you have Margaret around to help? If she's the kind of girl that loves making the house look beautiful, her and I could become even closer to one another.
Maddie? You're complimenting our yard and house? Does that mean you've come over to see the new house?
I have, and I came all the way here on an airplane. I heard from Trevor that you guys had completed the house just yesterday.
And that's nice and all of you to come from so far to see us, but we haven't even begun to move into there just yet. And just coming over without mentioning anything to us is a bit rude. That place isn't the house we used to all live in, as it's now become the home of my second oldest and us.
No, actually, starting today, we plan to live here as well. And that shouldn't be a problem for you at all, right, Beth?
Excuse me? Does that mean that after all this time you finally want to live with us?
Seriously? This has nothing to do with me wanting to live together with some jerk of a mother-in-law. Starting today, the oldest brother and his wife will live together with his younger brother and wife. Both you and your husband can go ahead and rent a small apartment nearby.
Huh? And why exactly do my husband and I have to be the ones to leave the new house? We built that place specifically for us and my second oldest. What is wrong with you coming here unannounced and telling us to get out of there? I do not like that you're acting this sporadic.
I'm not being sporadic in any way, Beth. I'm just doing exactly as I want. Actually, don't you think my plan is pretty dang smart of me? The older and younger brothers living together under one roof with their wives. Doing it that way would mean that we can all support one another and bundle our earnings together.
What?
I made sure a while back to advise Margaret to rethink living together with her in-laws. But I'm not sure if she understood what I meant and said that she was totally fine living with you. She never wanted to live together with you guys, yet kept it a secret and tried her best to fake the want to.
And that's probably just what you want to believe? Her and I have talked about this at least a dozen times, and each time she's been so happy over the idea of living together.
Well, unfortunately for you, she was just trying to be nice to you since you're her mother-in-law. But she knows well enough that living with us both instead of you guys is far more stress-free and fun. Unlike an old bag, her and I are closer in age, so we won't have to worry about differences in the way we think. And I know that she will be much happier to live like that instead of having to worry about you.
But you still don't know that, right? Now, I've had enough talking, so hurry up and get out of that house. I'm telling you right now that I'm almost past my limit here.
Stop all of that, Beth. Don't be so upset that you'll no longer have a daughter-in-law to bully anymore.
Huh?
That's right. I was going to let you know about this sooner or later, but I still expect you to be the one to pay off the loan on the house for us. Understand that neither us or your second oldest and his wife will pay a dime for the place.
Excuse me? Not only are you saying that you'll steal that house, but you want me to pay for it all on my own?
But we're being kind by just letting you and your husband live nearby to your sons and their wives, right? And so, a way of saying thanks. You should pay that loan off for us. Now, if anything were to happen to either one of you, you can run over to us to take care of you.
Then let me ask this. If I were to be in trouble, would you guys actually try and help me? My husband and I have gotten a lot older, and so our legs are not as great as they used to be. We already have to go to the hospital at least once a month for checkups and such. Does this mean that you'd be willing to at least stop by once a month to take us in?
Huh? Why the hell would I ever do such meaningless crap? If you have such bothersome crap like that, then you're better off asking Margaret to take care of you. And if she says no to you, ask your second oldest. And if he says no, ask your oldest. And if we are all saying no, ask someone that lives close by to you. And if all of them say no to you, then maybe, just maybe, I'll be willing to come help you out.
So in other words, you won't do jack for us. Why do you keep beating around the bush so much about the truth, Maddie? I don't have any more patience with you, so hurry up and leave our house. I'm not going to give that house we worked so hard on to the both of you.
Why say all those awful things when I've already said that we're living here and that's final? If you think that you can continue to get away with picking on me, then I might just happen to divorce your son. Is that what you want from me?
Huh? You want to divorce him now?
With how far out in the countryside we live right now, me leaving him over this would be an embarrassment to your whole family. Especially after we already agreed that we'd be the ones living here with your second oldest and his wife. But after trying to be so nice about this, you've really hurt me with your words. I might just leave him now. Then that would mean you never even get to meet your granddaughter ever again.
So you think that's the best way to threaten us right now?
You're going to give this house to me and your oldest now, right? If you don't, I'll be divorcing your oh-so-important oldest son.
Right now, we're going to hand in the divorce forms.
Huh?
Thank goodness I was able to talk with Trevor so quickly. While I was talking with you on here, I decided to contact him about this. Apparently, he had no clue that you were trying to do such a thing with our house. He said he'd hurry up and handle everything for me now that he's aware you've gone off the deep end. But before that happens, the divorce forms will be handed in.
Huh? Why the hell would you guys hand that stuff in?
Because we have all had enough of your crap, Maddie. Even Trevor told me that he just can't deal with all your shenanigans anymore. He really told me that he never noticed how crazy you've been until now. He told me that he had already been preparing for the divorce as well.
What's so crazy about someone like me? I was the one that came up with that genius idea to take the house from you and live together here with your second oldest and his wife. If anything, I should be regarded as the intelligent one compared to all of you.
Someone that actually happens to be intelligent would never try to steal someone else's house from them. Just know that you have now gone and disrespected everyone in my family.
Huh? I have not disrespected anyone, including you. If anything, I've done my best to put up with you picking on me. Yet now you all act like Trevor and I need to be divorced?
I understand that you don't want to be bullied by your mother-in-law. When I married my husband, I had a lot of problems between his mom and I. But in your case, when you say you've tried your best, you've been wasting all your energy on nothing. Maybe it's time you settle down and realize that.
Huh? And how am I wasting my energy on trying to avoid your bullying? I wanted to make sure that I was far away from you so that I wouldn't have to be picked on anymore. And I'll continue to do that now. So expect to only see your grandbaby every couple of years now. I had done so well trying to let you live close to us and all.
Are you seriously saying that you did so well?
I am. If I let myself continue to be harassed by you, then I will have lost. That's why I'm not going to let a divorce happen after all the effort I've put in staying away from you. I'm betting that your second oldest and Margaret would be happy to live with me and Trevor. I was so generous for thinking a plan up to make sure that they didn't have to live with a daughter-in-law abuser. So why can't you just understand what I've put so much of my intelligence into?
We are not happy at all about whatever plan you made. And actually, what about you is so amazing and smart?
Huh?
It's been a long time, Maddie. This would be Margaret. I have been sitting with Beth looking at all your guys' conversation, and things seem to have gotten pretty wild.
Margaret? So, you've been with Beth this whole time, huh? Well, this is your chance right now. Tell her right now with all your heart that you've never wanted to live together with her. And let her know how much you've been wanting to live with us instead.
I want to live with Beth, though. Actually, if anything, living with you and Trevor would be absolutely impossible for me.
What?
As a wife to this family myself, I can understand the fears you have. But getting this out of hand over something that's never existed is a huge waste of what could have been a happy family with all of us. Which is crazy because Beth is such a nice person to us all.
What are you talking about, Margaret? Didn't you take a look at that file I sent you? That was supposed to help you understand how awful things would be with Beth. You know dang well that living with us would be a way better time than those two. We would be able to support one another equally, and I'd even be happy to help you when you're in need.
Can you explain to me how you'd help me? Please list off to me all the merits we'd have by living with you.
Huh? I shouldn't have to tell you all of that, right? You should already know. For example, when we both have kids of our own, we can leave them together with one of us as the other has some time to themselves. Also, we'd be able to put all our incomes together to afford even nicer things.
In other words, you guys would be asking us to take care of your kid while you both take time to relax. But I'm sorry to say that would only be a pain in the butt for my husband and I.
Huh?
You have said before to Beth that you both have a nice daughter that you'd want to be raised around the family, but we can tell that you guys do not do a good job raising that kid. When the kid doesn't have their way, they immediately start to get upset and cry. I have been able to meet your kid a few times, but every time we see her, she seems to get worse.
Huh? My little girl has nothing wrong with her. What's wrong with you?
Also, you said that we could all put our incomes together so that we could all afford nicer things, right? But are you actually being serious about that? I don't like it when people tell me they can do things that they obviously cannot do.
What does that mean?
Well, in your case, you're a housewife, right? As for my husband and I, we both work full-time and make a considerable amount of money per year. But in your family, it's only Trevor that works. And I've heard from him before that you guys are already living on a fine line between making it out each month with no debt and having to borrow money.
What was that?
I can expect that Trevor would be willing to work for and help us out in the case we did all live together. But when you don't have a job and barely attend to your own kids' needs, I'm not so sure. I even hear a lot of times from my husband that he asks for advice when dealing with you. I'm sorry, but I just don't see us being able to all fairly put in money to the house when you're not working and Trevor is barely making it by.
You have to be kidding, right?
So, how else could you possibly help us? Actually, it seems that you'd only want to live with us so that you could leech off our money and time. Right now, the two of us don't have kids and we are both working great jobs that we love. You must have just been thinking that by having us around, your life would be a whole lot easier, right? You saw that we would have a whole lot of merits for you, hence you wanting to live with us.
You're wrong, Margaret. Actually, I have been really worried about you. I've never once heard of a wife doing well for themselves after moving in with their in-laws.
I am thankful that you've been so worried about me, but it was all a waste. I have spoken with Beth at least a dozen times about us all living together under one roof. And she was able to give me proof that her and her husband would be able to put in just the same amount as we would into the house. We all saw that there would be more merit to living together, all four of us. And if there was ever any issues, we'd trust one another enough to be able to find a solution. And that's why we all decided to live together. But of course, when you choose to not trust anyone and have nothing to give to anyone, living under one roof with the in-laws would be impossible.
the work I put in to make sure we could live in that house together? Why are you being so harsh to me?
Listen to yourself.
Huh?
I'm so sorry, Maddie. But you are an absolute piece of stinky trash. Oh, I just remembered that you'll soon be a stranger to all of us. Now, you shouldn't be as surprised by me being harsh to you because you're nothing more than an extremely crazy stranger to this family.
I don't even care anymore. If you want to talk to me like that, then go screw yourself. But if you begin to regret what all you've said to me and not choosing to live with us, don't come crying to me about it. Actually, I hope that Beth does harass the hell out of you for this. Hey, why are you all doing this to me? I just talked with Trevor and he really was serious about divorcing me. And what's worse is he's planning on taking my girl from me. Why am I the one that has to end up in trouble?
No matter what you try and say to me, I don't care. And since you're no longer my son's wife, you're just some stranger. Goodbye now, and good luck.
Huh? Well, why are you being so straightforward with this? You're my dang mother-in-law, so hurry up and make up with me and then come help. He told me he's going to make sure he never has to see me again. So you go and tell Trevor that he needs to calm down and come back to me.
My son is very calm right now. And so I think this is him just saying he's over you.
If you go and change his mind right now, I'll make sure the two of us become friends again. I'll even have us all come over to see you during the holidays. So hurry up and do something about this.
You don't have to come see us anymore. I already have my second oldest son and his kind wife living with me, and I can see that from now on we'll be able to enjoy the holidays together every year. And by having you out of her life, I think your daughter will begin to behave a whole lot better. Right now, she may have a bit of a temper, but I'm sure that we still have enough time to raise her right.
Huh? So you're saying everything's fine the way it is right now? You don't see any importance in me as your son's wife?
You're not even his wife anymore, so I'm not sure what you're going on about. Now, goodbye forever. Today we'll be moving more of our stuff into this new house, so we don't have time to talk to you anymore. We were able to move into the new house without any problems, and are now all living together as one happy family. And Margaret is a great woman, just as I expected. And so not to make ourselves be a burden to her, my husband and I have started taking training classes to make sure we stay strong and healthy as long as possible. And with us all caring about one another's needs, things work so perfectly here. And as for Trevor, he ended up renting an apartment nearby to us. And now that he has full rights to his daughter, they both live there together. It seems she's recently become better behaved and now even comes to our house all by herself to play. We've heard that Maddie has been trying her best to meet with her daughter after the divorce, but her daughter keeps telling us she doesn't want to see her. And Trevor is the same way, no longer wanting to meet with Maddie after the divorce.
Kate, I'm sorry to ask this of you, but do you think you can pick up some food on the way home? I'm really busy with work right now, so I don't really have the time to make anything for dinner tonight.
Huh?
And it seems your dad will be late coming home from work as well. So I'm wondering if you can pick up enough food for the three of us. I'll make sure to pay you back later for everything.
What kind of work are you busy with, you freaking shut-in loser? All you're busy with right now is trying to sleep all day, you idiot.
What?
Now you're even asking me to provide dinner for the family? Do you really think that you can call yourself a mother by doing things like that? The fact that this is even happening to me is screwed up.
Now, wait a minute, Kate. Calling me a shut-in loser like that is not okay, right? You're not saying those things about me, correct?
Well, who else would I be talking about right now? You never leave the house to go work like a parent should, and instead sit around all day watching TV or something lame like that. And not just those things, but you never get around to doing the chores or cooking anymore, you pathetic woman. I'm going to go and stay the night at Grandma's house again, okay? So if you want to have food brought home for you, then go out and buy it yourself, idiot.
Excuse me?
And since Dad's not going to be home until later, you'll just have more time to sit around and do nothing, right? I'm not going home to someone that disgusting, so I'll stay at her place.
Can you please get a hold of yourself, Kate? Calling your own mother things like a shut-in loser and an idiot are not okay. You already are well aware that I do a lot of work for my job. And that's the whole reason you're able to live a wonderful life with little to no worries in it about things like food and clothing.
Are you kidding me? You can't say things like that about yourself when you rarely ever leave the dang house. And when you say you have a job, I know what you mean. You just get online and do some stupid crap and make base level pay, right? I'm sorry, but that is not a real job, Mom.
What?
Grandma really had it all right, saying that you're a lost cause of a woman. Having a mom like you is literally the worst.
Grandma said that about me?
I wonder what I'll have to eat over at her place tonight. Yesterday, she treated me to some really good sushi, and I think today we should go out for steaks.
Alicia, can you please stop what you're doing? I saw that once again you started to say weird things to Kate about me.
Oh, and what kind of weird things have I told her this time? I only ever tell that kid the truth and nothing else. And those things happen to include that you are jobless and do nothing for your family. I feel so bad for her having a mother like you in her life.
And I explained to you before this is what my job entails, right? I work from home as a remote worker. And even still, I'm making upwards of $200,000 a year doing this kind of work. I even showed you my bank books and everything so that you could see I was telling you the truth.
You think I was going to believe that made-up bank book that you brought here to show me? Nobody would believe that. Ugh. Making $200,000 a year at your own home? There's no way a woman could ever be making that kind of money, especially when she sits at home all day.
Excuse me?
I'm sure you just made that fake bank book in some spreadsheet somewhere online to try and fool me, right? But I'm sorry, I'm not the kind of old woman that can fall for fraud so easily. I know what's the truth and what's not.
I guess so then. You're one of those old folks that only believes what they want to believe and will call everything else a hoax.
Huh?
I understand that you want to believe all of this to be a lie, but it's the truth, Alicia. So I'm asking that you please stop telling my daughter any more lies about me, okay?
Well, if you really are making that $200,000 a year, then you'd better start giving me a monthly allowance. Oh wait, you won't, will you? Because every time I've asked so far for money, you've never even given me a penny. In other words, you don't have any money to give me, right? That means you're not making $200,000, and probably not even $100.
You happen to receive enough every month to support yourself, though, right? So I believe that there is no reason to be sending you any of my money, and that's why I don't. From what I've already heard from Kate, you seem to go out to eat quite a lot, and high-priced foods at that. You'll always take her out to go eat at the most expensive restaurants in town, and then go at least once a month on vacation, right?
Old people like me love to spend money. The only way we're able to carry on into old age is by spending money. But it seems you don't understand that, do you? You really are a no-good wife, aren't you? Huh? I really wonder why my son had to end up marrying a defect woman like you. Well, it's not too late for him yet, so I want you to hurry up and leave him, please.
I'm finally finished with my work for the day, Patty. I'm gonna go out to grab some food for us right now, so just hang on a little bit longer. And as for what happened between you and my mom, I'm sorry. You said she was back at it with telling more lies to Kate, right?
This time it was about how I'm not making any money at all. You remember before that I showed her things like my bank books and everything to get her to believe me, right? But she never believed any of that and thinks it was all fake.
And I've been telling her time and time again about you. Yet she never seems to have it in herself to even listen to her own son about it.
Well, your mom seems to be the kind of person that's even worse than other old folks at her age. She only wants to think of things the same as they were in the past and won't accept anything else. I get that it's hard for her to understand that a lot of people these days work from home, but thinking that she'd actually continue to get my own daughter wrapped up in that way of thinking? I thought I had finally put some distance between her and I, but now Kate is into all of it and on her side.
To say that she's on her side would mean she actually wants to agree with Mom. I think it's more that my mom is just brainwashing her, right? She's got her saying all sorts of bad things about you now and probably doesn't even know that they're all completely false.
What she was saying about me being a shut-in loser today really hurt me a lot. I've been putting all my energy into making sure we have enough money to live a very relaxed and peaceful life. Yet she'll sit there saying I'm not good enough to be a mother.
I'm so sorry, Patty. This is all my mom's fault. For the time being, let's just have Kate stay over at her house. Right now, you still have a lot of projects to focus on and shouldn't have her around bugging you the whole time. So, once you have everything under control with work, then we can focus on dealing with Kate and my mom.
Are you okay with that? Doing that might actually make things worse for us, right?
I mean, at this point, things are already at their worst, so there's nowhere to go but up from here. And honestly, I just don't want them around you for a while, because I'm afraid you might get really upset. And if the main pillar in this house gets upset and collapses, then everyone in the family will be screwed, right? I'm not asking for us to run away from the problem, but rather just put some distance between us for a while.
That's a good point. Trying to fix things now wouldn't do them any good. So let's just let things settle down first, and we'll make another chance to talk with them.
That's right. I'll let my mom and Kate know about this so you can sit back and relax. When I get home, I'll give you the food that I bought, and then you could eat and get yourself a good night's sleep.
Mom, I just happened to hand in the divorce paperwork for both you and Dad. And so from now on, you can consider yourself a stranger to us all. Now hurry up and get your butt out of that house.
Huh? You handed in divorce paperwork?
I had a talk with Grandma about it. She asked me what the best way was of getting you out of the house since you're so useless. And after thinking of all the options we could have, there was nothing worth our time that would seem to get you to step up and be a good wife and mother. So in the end, we decided that divorce was the only option and took care of all that for you guys.
Huh?
No matter what someone who's unemployed says to either myself or Grandma, the only choice was getting your shut-in loser butt out of the family.
You're lying about handing in your own parents' divorce papers, right? That's just some twisted joke, right?
Why would I ever joke about something so good? I just went out with Grandma and we both handed the papers in together to the city office. And once you are out of that house, there will be one less person, right? So we'll have room for Grandma to move in with Dad and myself, and the three of us can live together.
That frickin' Alicia. She wasn't able to get an allowance from me, so her next plan is getting into that house with Johnny? And so she's going to have me forced out of the house because she sees me as in the way, right? She's really done a good job setting this whole family on fire now.
Stop going on about all of this and get the hell out of our house. We've already gotten all her things packed up for her and ready to have her moved in. We also talked with the landlord about the apartment as well and had her lease ended on it, so we're ready to come over.
What? You're already finished with all of that stuff?
That's why the only thing left to do is get rid of your butt. I have no need for a shut-in mom anymore. We already made sure that you'd no longer be married to Dad, all right? So get on with it and enjoy your new life being a homeless loser.
The only one that'll be homeless now are us, you idiot.
What?
Kate, you've really gone and done it now. At this point, there's really nothing else I can do to save you.
Dad? Huh? Why are you texting me using Mom's phone?
That's because your mom just threw her phone at me to deal with you. She told me she can no longer talk to you anymore. And as of right now, she's ran off to your room to start packing up all your things. So from now on, you and Grandma will have to start thinking about where you want to live next.
Huh? That loser of a woman shouldn't be allowed in my room without my permission. And she's the one that needs to think of where to live next, right? We already planned to live in that house because she'll no longer be there. From now on, it'll be the three of us living there. Mom will be gone and it will be Grandma coming in to take her place.
I'm sorry, but you can no longer live here. This is the house that she built for all of us. And even the land is hers, so there's nothing we can do to get her to leave it. And the fact that you even tried to kick her out of her own house means that there is no need for you to be living here anymore.
What?
I really hope that she is still nice enough to let me live with her now that our marriage has been threatened. She might take this as me being just as unbearable as you and Grandma and kick me out as well. Being my age and homeless pretty much means I'm done for and should just off myself.
No, wait, Dad. What do you mean that house and land are hers?
You're the one that had it built for us, right? Normally it's always the husband that does things like that for his wife, right?
Well, she's not your average wife. Patty really loves her job a lot and has made it so far in the company that she's now making over $200K a year. And the reason we've had this house is all thanks to her.
What? She's actually making that much every year?
She sure is. But it seems that both you and your grandma didn't want to believe that. Your mom is a very popular web designer after all, and that's why she's done so well. She gets in a lot of work from all kinds of companies, and that's how she makes that kind of money. And she makes all that money just by herself.
What?
And the land this house is on is quite expensive. Even if she was never around, we would have never been able to live this close to the city center. I can't believe she's this amazing of a woman, and you both never managed to see it.
Hold on. You're telling me that middle-aged loser is making $200,000 a year? But Grandma told me plenty of times that Mom has been the worst wife and is awful at everything she does. That's it. If Mom is really making that kind of money every year, then there's no problem here, right? That would mean that you're making way more than her, right? You are the man of the house, after all.
You think so?
Well, Mom is able to make that kind of money without even having to leave her room, right? So you must be making at least 3 times that much being out of the house all the time for work, right? Who am I kidding? You're probably making close to $1 million every year, right, Dad? So there's no problem with this divorce and you leaving that crummy house to Mom. You can just have a brand new house built for the 3 of us.
I only work part-time right now, Kate.
Huh?
You think I'm making over $200K a year working a part-time job? It's pretty rare for me to even make around $2,000 a month, actually.
Wait a second. You're working part-time? That's a lie, right? You're always leaving the house in a nice suit and everything for work, right? You're telling me that's all for a part-time job?
Actually, during that time, I was working for a full-time company, but just last week I ended up quitting that job.
You quit your job there?
The work I was doing for them there only began to grow worse and worse for me. I was even being given less time to eat lunch recently. And the new CEO that was chosen starting this year has just been a pain in the butt for me. And so, when talking with your mom about it, she told me it'd be better if I just left that job. I didn't think I'd ever be having to talk to my daughter about something like this, though.
Then why are you only working part-time now? Normally you'd start looking for a better full-time job, right? Why are you not working for a company full-time again and instead only working part-time?
Well, that's just what Patty and I decided on for me. I'm pretty burnt out from that last job, and there's no point trying to force myself to look for another job like that right away. So for a little while, I'll take it easy and let my body and brain rest up a bit. So now you can see what's been going on for me. I'm sorry, but your mom is making more than me now. And even if I was still in that past company, she'd be making $100,000 more than me a year.
So you've always been below Mom?
Well, your mom has always been working her job. And before we got married, she was looking for a man that wouldn't care about her working and making more than himself. So, to keep her happy about something like that, I just decided to work a part-time job as a way of still bringing in a little money, while she can rest knowing that I'm still not that worried about her making the money for us.
What?
But right as we were getting used to this new life, we've been faced with a sudden and unwanted divorce. If I'm tossed out of the house now, I'll probably also lose my part-time job and become a 40-year-old with no home and no job. And not only that, but I'll have to be stuck with my brat of a daughter, my useless mother. My life will really have no meaning anymore, and I really might as well just call it quits.
That's a lie, right? I've never heard about you working part-time now and that you left your past job?
Can you and your grandma start looking for a good park for the 3 of us to live in? That would help out a lot. I'll be going now.
Mom, I'm so sorry. I was wrong about everything this whole time. I never thought that you were that amazing of a person, Mom, so please don't kick Dad and I out of the house.
Huh? The whole reason for all of this is because you handed in our divorce papers, right? And that's why your dad and I are now strangers again. And I don't really want to live with strangers anyway.
I understand that something like that happened, but Grandma and I ran back to the office and got the papers dismissed for you both. Actually, they told us there were some problems with the papers anyway, and that they never would have been processed. So we were able to get all that taken care of for you. You're both not divorced.
Oh, is that right?
It is. So now the three of us can go right back to being a family again. I'll even make sure to start helping around the house more often for you. I'll do whatever you ask to make sure that you can focus all your attention and time on work.
It's great to hear they didn't process those divorce papers for you. But I'm sorry, Kate, I have had it up to here with you. You are no longer my daughter, nor are you even family to me now. I don't even want to see your face anymore.
Don't say something like that to me. I'm your one and only cute little daughter, right?
What about you makes you cute? I believe you meant to say revolting daughter.
Huh?
I think I'm going to have Alicia take care of you from now on for me.
What?
Now goodbye forever. I'll have all your things sent over to her place today for you. And after that, where you guys choose to live and how you choose to live will have nothing to do with me.
Wait, Patty, this is Alicia. I'm asking you to please listen to what I have to say.
If it isn't the devil herself, isn't this all great news? You're finally getting to be able to live all the time with that cute little brat, Kate. Whether it's in a park or under a bridge, having her with you will make everything all right.
Don't say such dry jokes like that, please. Listen, Patty, I have really changed after what's happened here. I'm so sorry for thinking of you as some kind of shut-in, and I'm really sorry for making Kate think of you as a parasite as well. You are very well off, and that makes me very proud to have you as my daughter-in-law. So please, don't throw me away.
It's because the daughter-in-law that you are so proud of now is throwing you out that you're here right now? Well, let me just tell you, I'm not throwing all three of you away, okay? Johnny, your son, is going to continue living with me right here in this house.
What? You're only letting my son stay with you? What about Kate and myself?
I don't care about you two. I think a park bench or a dry spot under a bridge should be enough, right?
What?
I really love and care about Johnny. He has always been there to support me in the job I work. He has never asked for me to leave him, ever, and so I don't see the point in kicking him out. So I'd like for you to take great care of that granddaughter you love so much.
But you plan to push caring for her onto me?
Push caring for her onto you? You were the one that wanted to live with her so badly, though.
But please, wait. I've already canceled my lease on this apartment and everything. And as for the money that my husband left for me, it's almost all gone.
Wait, is that so?
Yet you guys won't let me come live with you now? And you're leaving Kate in my hands?
Well, if you're in that much trouble, I guess I can give you a little bit of money every month to take care of her. But besides that, I'm not biting. Now you both go ahead and find a good place to sleep from now on, okay?
What about Johnny? My son has to be opposed to this, right? Forcing his only child onto his mother like this, there's no way he's okay with this.
He was the one that recommended it.
Huh?
He told me that he has no desire of living with a daughter that would hurt her own mother, nor a mother that would brainwash his own daughter.
There's no way!
I honestly never cared that you were upset with me all the time and would call me a bad wife. But because you got my daughter wrapped up in it and even tried getting your son and I divorced, I tried so hard to explain my job and everything to you, yet you never budged. And getting my own daughter to start calling me a shut-in loser?
That was...
So now, good luck raising my daughter with what little money you have left, and I'll make sure to put some money into your account every month for Kate. And in return for that, I'll be taking great care of your son for you. After that, Alicia and Kate moved into a small and cheap apartment together, and with the small amount of money she has left and the tiny amount I'm giving for Kate, the two of them live a very rough life. But it turns out that Alicia is now using up all the money that's supposed to go into caring for Kate. And so the two of them get into fights quite often over whatever money they have left and where it goes. My husband will go over there every so often to see how things were going, but the last time he went, Kate started to cry to him, asking for him to get me to forgive her. But Johnny knew that she hadn't learned her lesson yet, and that she was just putting on a face to try and get him to fall for it. And then he replied to her, asking that she should leave school soon and start working herself to make some money for her grandma and her. Hopefully, by recommending her that, she will learn what it's like to have to work for your own things, as well as to care for another being, that being her grandmother. I guess we're just going to have to wait and see what goes down there next.
Thank you for watching till the end. If you felt good about this video, like the video. If you didn't like it, let me know why in the comments. Subscribe too. Your likes and subs lead to our motivation. We have so many videos on our channel as well, so go ahead and take a look. See you in the next video.